Hey everybody, Kimberly here, and I'm excited to share with you 25th Century's latest game, and it is based on a real, world phenomenon that I was unaware of, and I think that's the most fantastic thing when I play board games and I learn something. I mean, great, right? Isn't that fantastic? Play game, have fun, learn. Okay, so yeah, educator here, you can probably tell. So this is Agueda, City of Umbrellas, and in this game, players are doing what happens every year in Agueda, where there are these umbrellas that essentially fill the streets and is essentially creating a beautiful artistic urban area, and this design that is just amazing when it comes to the colors. I mean, that's what makes this game so fun too. I wanted you to see all of the different components and the cool umbrellas that are in this game that we are going to line our streets with. So here's how it works. Up here is the player board that goes in the center. This is the collective space. There's the bank for money. These are the available umbrellas. This is the super cool pink bicycle that someone will take when they trigger the end of the game by filling every space in their street with umbrellas. And then up here you've got these variable or changeable objectives for every game that's different every time. So the suggested starting is Flora's Fancy Footwear, Isabel's Ice Cream, and the game comes built in with the Agueda souvenirs. So you've got all these different cards that are going to tell you what you can score, and at some point you might just shuffle them all up and then pick the shop cards that you want for each game. And the cool thing too is that what you do is you take these six little umbrellas. These are the wooden meeples. They're really nice and chunky with different designs on them. And you just randomly place them out in the spaces where you see those question marks that are kind of like beige background. So these change. So you're scoring the 6 different types of umbrellas. Again, colorblind friendly with design, but also really colorful if you can see that. And then you're just going to put the remainder here in the final space. So that's it for setup. The other thing I did for setup was I got my player sheet or my player board. There are 2 here. I'm going to pull that one aside just so you can see it. I've got 6 of these meeples. They have little cameras, so it's kind of like you're the visitor. You're kind of like the, what do you call that when you traveler? You're going to travel and you're going to be taking snapshots. And then over here, I've got this. These are going to be your little designs that you're drawing your mural, and these are going to be activated and flipped over to create a beautiful, beautiful mural. So this is my space, and every player has a different setup, and I wanted to show you because it's actually really cool. So this is the yellow player setup, and you'll see that it's blue, purple, yellow, green, red, orange, and mine is blue, red, yellow, orange, purple, and green. So every player is going to have a slightly different combination of colors so that players aren't essentially vying for the exact same things. It kind of creates a nice asymmetry that's balanced. Okay, the last thing is there's this giant bag of umbrellas. I mean, you can hear it, you can see it, you can feel it. I mean, these umbrellas, they're so cute. I love them. So they have, again, their different design, but they also kind of have a little stand on them. So they stand up and then you can see it. They kind of look like those umbrellas. So great design when it comes to these guys. We're just going to look at here. On your turn, pick umbrellas, place umbrellas, update your mural, and then attract tourists or score and take a break. And we just keep doing this in player turn order until one player fills up every single street space with an umbrella. So here's where you draw those umbrellas. This is pick umbrellas, step 1. Now, every player starts with 2 coins. This is essentially a really tight economy in this game because you're either going to be spending 1 coin, spending no coins, or gaining a coin, depending on how many umbrellas you pick. So if you take just 1, which is this space right here or this space right here, we're going in this kind of diagonal, you're going to take a coin from the bank and just 1 umbrella. If you want to take 2, and it has to be those 2 or those 2, you don't take anything, you don't pay anything. If you want the most umbrellas, you take all 3 of those, or you take all 3 of those, and you have to pay a coin. So we need to look at what we're scoring because this is going to dictate what we take. So Floor's Fancy Footwear scores oranges if you have an even number of umbrellas in this color, orange. On your board, you score 1 point for each. So if I have an even number at the end of the game that's displayed out here, then I'm going to receive 1 point for each. But if I have odd, I have 7, no points. If I have 6, 6 points. Isabel's Ice Cream. This we randomly selected for red and green. Score 1 point for each column that has at least one umbrella in either of these colors. So if I have red or green in each of my columns, I'm going to score 1 point for each of those columns. Now if I have both, doesn't matter. I just have to have at least one of those. So that's Isabel's Ice Cream. And then the last one I can't pick up because it's actually printed on the board. Says count all umbrellas on your board that match any of these. So blue, yellow, and purple. Score points equal to half that amount rounded down. Great. Okay, fantastic. Now I know what I'm going for. I probably want a red or a green, and it seems like there's only one red and one green. So maybe I should go for one of those because when you take umbrellas and you place them, which is step 2, they have to go in the same row. I'm going to take this one. I'm going to not pay anything, and I'm going to just take this particular arrow, and it's for free essentially. And I want to place it down here in this space. I'm going to go down here and I'm going to, perfect. I'm going to place them down, and you can't skip spaces and you have to start on the left. And the reason I put my paintbrush here on my green was you could put it on the orange, but whatever you do is you take a look at it and you say, okay, did I put it down on a paintbrush or an empty space? If it's a paintbrush, you come over here in this space over here and you will flip over that matching color. Now, it doesn't have to be in this bottom corner, it doesn't have to be in that row, it doesn't even have to be on this tile right here. But there are only 6 spaces because you want to activate all 6 of these by placing that matching umbrella of each of the 6 colors on those paintbrushes. Because if you can flip all 6 of them, you get max points of 6. But if you flip only 5, it's 4. And if you flip only 4 of your tiles, you're going to get 2 points. So that's one thing that you're going for. Now, the other thing you're going for is updating your mural. I did that. So I picked umbrellas. Picked, done, for free. Placed umbrellas, pick one of your rows, place them down, starting left to right, don't skip spaces. Update your mural was this, where I saw my color and I have green, so I flipped green over. Now I'm going to attract 1 or 2 tourists, or I'm going to take a break. I can't take a break because I haven't placed any of my tourists yet, or my sightseers. I'm going to take one of my available up here, and I'm only going to take 1. I will tell you why I won't be taking 2. But I'm going to place it down here on this little camera. So this tile is movable, and it will move here in a minute. But you've got 1 or 2 spaces to place your little guy. So I'm going to take him and I'm going to place him right there, and I'm going to put this back. When I do that, I will get to pick one of these 2 colors to count in that particular row, and I get 1 point for green or purple. I placed 1 green. I'm going to move my marker up to 1, and that is going to be my score. Now, the reason I didn't take a second worker is because I don't have any purple. And when you put 2 of your tourists out, you get to score both of those colors, and you count as many of those in that particular row. So I'm going to put that guy back. But the thing is, I'm not allowed to put another worker out on a space that already has a worker or a tourist, a little figure. I'm going to have to be playing out here at that point now. So that's attracting 1 or 2, but I just wanted to score green, so I placed 1. That's it. That's my turn. I'm going to reach in the bag, and I'm going to draw out and place going across top, and I'm going to go left to right, and I'm going to place it out first. I'm going to place this one here. I'm going to reach in the bag, and I'm going to find this one. All right. Fantastic. So that is going to be my turn. Play is going to pass in player order going around the table. So if I want to do this again, let's say another player went. Let's say I've got these available to me and it's back to me on my turn. I might want to try to do a double score because I see an opportunity here to grab this particular choice, which costs me $1. I'm going to pay $1 back to the bank, and I'm going to take orange, red, and yellow, and I'm going to place them out in any of my, I can even play over here again. I just can't necessarily score this one again, and I want to put these out in a place that allows me to score. And you can probably see what I'm doing. I'm going to say, let's go red, yellow, and orange. My yellow went on a paintbrush, so let's get this paintbrush flipped over. Let's paint the next step of my mural. Then, so I picked umbrellas, I paid $1, I placed them out in one of my 3 rows. I updated my mural. Now I'm going to attract 2. I'm going to take these 2 workers, my 2 tourists, and I'm going to place them in that particular one. Now you don't have to activate the same row that you did this turn, and you don't have to paint something that's in the same row that you placed down in your umbrellas that turn. It just so happens that everything's kind of lining up that way. So I'm going to place 2 and say I want to score yellow, which is 1 point, and I want to score my orange, which is another point. So you kind of start earning 1, 2, 3 points early on, but you can start to see that as you are scoring in later turns, you're going to start having more and more of those that you score in one go. So that's going to be it. I'm going to fill up that space again. Let me reach in here. I'm going to grab some. Oh, they just feel so good. You know me. I love reaching in bags. I love pulling out stuff. It feels good. There's no orange and there's no yellow at this point, so those are kind of rare. Those are kind of hard to get. So, again, comes back to me. Now, here's the thing. When I get to my step 4, I'm going to have to take a break. So I'm taking one more turn just to show you what taking a break is. And at that point, you're going to totally get this game. You're going to understand it from top to bottom. Again, really, really accessible, 20 to 40 minute game, no matter how many players you have. It's going to be that sub-hour game. So I'm looking out here. I know that my players are going to have taken some of these tiles and, move things around, but I'm just going to go. Now, I would love to take this because it gives me some purples and I can score some purples and greens. But again, I'm not going to be able to put anybody down and I'm not going to be able to activate anybody. I'm going to have to take a break. So maybe I should set myself up to score a little bit nicer in a future turn. I know that this tile, when I take a break, is going to rotate to the top. So maybe I should find a way to just grab and get some cash. I just want to kind of take a small turn. I want to take a turn that allows me, I'm not going to score, but I might be able to do something cool. So I'm going to take this guy. Oh no, let's do this one. Oh, I can't take that. Yeah, I'm going to take this for free. I'm going to do another freebie. It's just this guy. And I'm going to place that and I'm going to place that. So I put a purple and a green down and you're wondering why purple and green? It doesn't match blue and red. Well, here's the deal. I picked my umbrellas, I placed my umbrellas. I didn't have to update my mural because I can't get to that paintbrush in time, which is fine. If you don't activate something, you just don't do it that turn. And then I'm going to attract 1 or 2 tourists. Can't do that. I have no tourists available. These tourists are locked until you get both of those murals revealed. So I'm going to take a break. I'm going to take these workers back. I'm going to take these tourists back and put them in this space up here. I'm going to take this tile and I'm going to push these down and I'm going to rotate it up. Now my tourists are looking at these streets and they are trying to find different umbrellas because I will only be able to score the yellow and orange in this particular row, blue and red. And look at that. I set myself up so that I can put even more purples, even more greens, and then I can put maybe 1 or 2 tourists down and really, really nab up a whole bunch of points. And I'll probably want to put my purple on the paintbrush so I can turn this over. And if I do this, I'm revealing a beautiful, beautiful mural. And now this worker comes up here and I have even more people to take pictures with, either 2 at the same time or 1 at a time to score just 1 color. Now, another thing to note is that you don't have to spend all your tourists before you take a break. You could take a break as long as you have placed at least one tourist down in the street area during this particular phase 4. So that is going to be it. Don't forget, the way you score at the end of the game are going to be based on your shop cards. So Flora's Fancy Footwear, Isabel's Ice Cream, and Agueda Souvenirs is how I'm going to score. And I also am going to score for my flipped murals if I have any empty spots. Let's say my opponent fills in all of their spaces. I am going to lose 1 point for every empty space that I wasn't able to fill. But the cool thing about this is, and I say cool, this is, up to whatever you feel, there are not necessarily equal turns in the game because the player who triggers the end of the game gets this little bike. Everybody else at the table gets one more turn. So it's not go to the end of the round. Notice that there was no first player marker. This is what dictates the final actions, the final turns in the game. So there might be uneven turns depending on if you trigger the end or not. And again, there are so many other cards that you can use that are definitely going to change the way you score and change the colors of the umbrellas that are essentially valuable in that particular game. So this is it. You've got tons and tons and tons of these cards, and you've got just a sack full, an absolute sack full of these beautiful, super cool umbrellas. I just think they're really cool. And I love the design. Again, I love that it's colorblind friendly. I think it's fantastic. And I will say another thing that's really cool about this is the game comes with Spanish cards. So it has full Spanish language, full rule book in Spanish as well. And it also has that solo play variant. So it goes again 1 to 5. A lot to like here for this nice gateway game, super family friendly, and I love that it's rooted in this real life thing that's happening across the world, not just in Agueda, City of Umbrellas. All right, everybody, that's going to be it for me this time. I will see you later. Bye.